Howdy ho, meal preppers, it's Bobby, and the other week I asked you what kind of meal prep recipes do you want to see? And oh my gosh, did you guys tell me? College meal prep. So today we are making easy, tasty, and affordable meal prep as a college student. But it's so good, your friends are gonna think you're an Iron Chef because we are making my quinoa style fried rice. I'm subbing out rice and I'm putting in protein-packed quinoa, loading with tons of veggies, soy sauce, chili sauce. It is legit. Served with a Chinese 5-spice crusted chicken thigh in a sweet chili glaze. So if you guys want to join the meal prepping community, do me a solid, subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every Friday hooking you up. In front of me, I have 10 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. My friends, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, this is the best cut of chicken you can get. It has so much more flavor than boneless, skinless breasts. It's half the price, and it does have a little more fat and calories, but hey, if you don't mind that, this is where it's at. We're gonna up the flavor even more with one of the easiest spice rubs ever, Chinese 5-spice blend. The rub's done. I didn't do anything. So you're basically getting 5 spices for the price of 1.
What are the 5 spices?
The 5 spices are...
And go.
Szechuan peppercorns, fennel, cloves, star anise, and cinnamon. Yeah, I got it, woohoo! Okay, so give a liberal pinch of spice rub all over the top side of the chicken. Then grab some salt and give a generous pinch all over the chicken. And remember, when I season chicken, I'm always kind of aggressive with the salt because chicken is really bland and the salt brings out that awesome chicken flavor. So go ahead and massage the chicken. Nothing deep tissue, this is purely Swedish here. Just get that spice rub all over the chicken meat. Flip the chicken over and just hit it up with some more 5-spice and salt. Now, if you guys want to use boneless, skinless breast, do the same exact thing. I will put the macros below for chicken thighs and for chicken breast. That way you can compare and make up your mind. Now, since you guys are all loyal Flav City fans, you know that we never cook cold chicken in a hot pan or hot oven. Chicken's gonna be tough. It's gonna cook unevenly, so it has to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and during that time, the spice rub is gonna get down into the meat, do its thing, and create lots of flavor. So I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, because this is college meal prep, I'm doing almost all the cooking in one single pan. So I'm using a large nonstick pan. We're gonna cook our chicken in here, then we're gonna cook our quinoa fried rice in here. If you don't have a large nonstick pan, I'll hook you up down in the description box over at Amazon. It's cheap. Everyone needs to have one, and this is all you need for this recipe pretty much. Preheat your nonstick pan over medium heat and go in with about 1.5 tablespoons of veggie oil. If your pan's hot enough, it's gonna make this sweet sound as soon as the chicken goes in. Perfect. That means the skin is getting crispy immediately. Now I'm only gonna cook half the chicken now because if I crowd all of it in the pan at one time, I'm gonna drop the temperature of the pan and it won't get crusty. So do half now, evacuate, and do the other half later on. You'll notice the oil kind of splatters a little bit. If you don't have one of these splatter guards here, this will save you a huge amount of cleanup later on. I'll hook you up down below over at Amazon. I highly recommend everyone have one of these. It's been 5 minutes. Let's flip these birds and check that out, guys. Was I telling you the truth or what? Super crispy, nice color from the 5-spice. And when you use a spice rub, you're not adding any extra fat at all. But a wet marinade with oil is. It's been 5 minutes on the second side for a total cook time of 10 minutes. Let's get these guys out of the pan. So while the second batch of chicken is cooking, I'm gonna take the hot cooked chicken and paint over some sweet chili sauce. Use a spoon or a pastry brush and just paint on a little bit of that sweet glaze. In case you guys don't know what this stuff is, every grocery store has it. It's the sweet chili sauce. It's like one of the most common dipping sauces in Chinese food history. And then to make this chicken pop off the charts, I'm gonna reach for some sesame seeds and just sprinkle it on the top. I'm gonna use all the self-control I have not to devour that and wait for the second batch of chicken to finish and do the same. All the chicken is done. I'm gonna move this aside and we're gonna get started on the vegetation station. So in this bowl, I have carrots, broccoli, red onions, and red peppers. Now the beauty of cooking everything in the same pan, look, we have all of that leftover chicken fat in there, and it's infused with that 5-spice powder, so there's tons of flavor that it's gonna bring to our quinoa fried rice. So add all the veg to the pan. And yes, we're doing a lot of vegetables because I wanna load our quinoa fried rice with lots of nutrients and lots of protein. And then reach for a big pinch of salt, I'd say about a half a teaspoon, then a few cracks of black pepper. We're gonna cook these veggies over medium-high heat for about 7 minutes until they soften up. In the meantime, you guys gotta check out the Flav City Facebook page. I'm doing live stream cooking recipes every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Chicago time. It's super fun because we can interact in real time. Plus, every once in a while, we're doing really cool giveaways and I want you to be a part of them. It's been 7 minutes and our vegetables have softened up a little bit. Now it's time to go in with about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that I finely minced. And then a couple teaspoons of fresh ginger. The fresh stuff has so much flavor, and just grate it. And the beauty of using the microplane is that all the fiber and all the tough stuff stays on the top side. And when I turn over the microplane, all the pulp comes through perfectly. So we're gonna cook this for 3 minutes, just so the garlic and ginger cook a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm on standby with 3 3/4 cup of cooked quinoa. I have the perfect way of making light and fluffy quinoa every single time, and this is how you do it. To speed things up, I like to boil the water in an electric kettle, add a pinch of salt to the water, then go in with 1 1/4 cups of quinoa, give it a stir and cook it uncovered for 20 minutes until all the water has been absorbed and it's light and fluffy. Now before I add the quinoa, I'm gonna scramble 4 eggs here because I don't know about you, but I like a lot of marbled scrambled eggs in my fried rice. So beat the eggs for a good 30 seconds so there's a good amount of air incorporated. And then make a little well in the middle of your pan like this, and then go ahead and add it to the pan. So we'll cook it just until it gets a soft scramble, then we'll add the quinoa and the eggs will keep on finishing after. And now bring all the vegetables in, incorporate it really well, and then go ahead in with your cooked quinoa. Crank the heat up to medium-high. You want everything to happen pretty quickly now. So keep on stirring. Now, honestly, the key to the best fried rice or quinoa fried rice ever is using day-old or leftover rice or quinoa. Because when it's dry, it's gonna soak up all the flavors in the pan. So I actually made this yesterday. If you don't wanna do that, try to make it 3 hours before you start doing this. Put it on a sheet tray and let it cool in the fridge or at room temperature. The more moisture you can get out, the more flavor it's gonna soak up in the pan, and you're gonna literally have bomb.com quinoa fried rice. Now I'm gonna grab about 1/2 cup of frozen peas, and don't even bother thawing them out because the heat from the pan will do that for you. And then it's time to add the sauce, and the sauces are the boss to make it really good quinoa style fried rice. So I have low sodium soy sauce. Always buy low sodium, that way you control the amount of salt in the dish. I'm gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons to start. Then I'm gonna grab some sriracha sauce. I'm gonna start with maybe 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons. And then this is the money sauce. This is toasted sesame oil. Crazy strong, so just maybe like 1 teaspoon will do us. Make sure you stir everything equally. So we'll keep cooking it for about 30 more seconds. But you guys, when I was back in college at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, I used to rock out dishes just like this in my tiny studio apartment kitchen. And I know you guys can rock this one too, and pretty much all my recipes because they're so easy and you are honestly gonna be like the culinary rock star on campus, there's no doubt about it. But when you do make this recipe or any of my recipes, take a picture, put it on social media and tag me because you guys know I love seeing when you make my creations. Now we gotta check for seasoning, which is my favorite part of the cooking process. You guys, that's really good. I thought it might need some more love with some more sauces, but it is spot on. It's perfectly salty, a little spicy, a little nutty. It's done. Peel the heat. Then to finish this guy off, I have some green onions, about maybe 1/4 cup that I finely sliced, and then some more of those sesame seeds. Give it one last mix, and this ginormous pot of deliciousness is done, and we can build our meal prep containers for the whole week. You're gonna ace your exams when you eat this, y'all. All right, I've got my glass meal prep containers here. And it's funny because one of the other popular requests for this week was Asian cuisine. So unbeknownst to me, we just knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. I love it when that happens. All right, to build our containers, let's grab a couple chicken thighs and a big old scoop of quinoa fried rice. My 5 meal prep containers for the week are done, but I gotta do a little more quality control and tuck into some of this chicken because it's calling my name. You guys, the chicken is so moist and flavorful, and the dark meat thighs are the reason for that. Plus, that spice rub is creating an amazing crust, and that glaze is sweet and sticky. But before I forget, The storing instructions and the reheating instructions for this are, you can keep all 5 of these in the fridge for the week. When you're ready, just pop them in the microwave, or my preferred way of doing it is wrap it in tin foil, put it in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes. If you want, you can also pop these guys in the freezer for 2 to 3 months. They'll be totally fine. So there it is, you guys. College meal prep like a boss. So easy, so awesome. If you want the recipe, it's below in the description box. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe to my channel for new meal preps every Friday, hooking up all my meal prepsters around the world. If you want to see more amazing meal prep recipes, check out the videos below me. But I will see you next week. Until then, I say until what I always do. # keep on cooking. Later.